I'm going straight through him.
Woo!
He won't have to wait. He don't have to find me. All the running I'm going to do is right at him.
With less than 13 days left till Mike Tyson faces Jake Paul in the ring, there have been a lot of events, words, and happenings all coming hour after hour. And if there's one person whose voice has been loud throughout all this, it's Evander Holyfield. And his latest thoughts on the fight are pointed right at Jake Paul.
Nice left hook. Up.
Was good for today.
Evander Holyfield has been in the ring with Mike Tyson, and now he's had a close look at Jake Paul too. Holyfield is one of the only people in the world who can truly say they understand both men. He's fought Tyson twice, winning both times, including in their infamous ear-biting fight. And more recently, he got to watch Paul in action in his own gym. Now, with the Paul versus Tyson fight coming up, Holyfield's giving his opinion on how it's likely to go down. And he's got strong views on what Paul will need to do if he wants even a slight chance of beating the former heavyweight champion. And let's just say he doesn't think things are looking good for Jake Paul. Holyfield isn't someone who hands out praise lightly, especially in the boxing world. But when it comes to Jake Paul, he's genuinely impressed. Well, to some point. He recalls how a few years back, Paul came to his gym, eager to learn and train with the same focus as professional fighters. He came to the gym. He acted as a good student, Holyfield said. And for Holyfield, who has seen his fair share of up-and-coming boxers, this isn't a small compliment. Paul's commitment to learning the art of boxing stood out.
He came to the gym, and I'm telling you, he actually is a good student. He listened real well, and
many people might think Paul is just another internet celebrity jumping on a trend, but Holyfield sees more than that. When I talked to my man at the gym, I realized he can really fight, he shared. This statement is especially meaningful because, coming from someone like Holyfield, it means Paul has shown at least some potential. But this potential is just not enough to take Mike down.
the difference between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is knowing, wisdom is doing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know the difference.
Here's what I say. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery.
Paul has built a reputation for taking big risks, going up against seasoned fighters like former MMA champions Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva isn't something just anyone would attempt without serious skills and confidence.
This fight is pro, so it's on the records. The stakes are high. Mike Tyson is not just going to throw this fight. This is real. Whoever loses this is going to have a loss on their records forever, so they're going to go for the kill.
For Holyfield, though, Paul's technical skill is only part of the picture. He believes the biggest test for Paul against Tyson will be whether he can handle a punch from a man who's known for some of the hardest punches in boxing history. In Holyfield's own words, does Jake Paul take a good shot, he wonders? It's a huge question because, to put it simply, Tyson's power is on a completely different level than anything Paul has faced so far.
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this. But, you know, he's going to be a lot quicker. If he stay close to Mike, then his chance of winning going to be great. But he try to stay back from Mike. He gonna get caught. Mike is like a snake. He'll pop out on you. He get there too quick. But if you charge him, you're going to smother everything. Because everything he push off his legs. He push off his legs so he too close. Like this, but if you give him room, I mean, everybody get knocked out going backwards. Like this, you give him in room, you're going to be...
Holyfield explains that one of Paul's key strategies will be to stay close to Tyson and not let him get too much room to swing. If he stays close to Mike, then his chance of winning is going to be great, he says. This approach might sound strange. Why would anyone want to stay close to Tyson? But Holyfield knows that Tyson does his most dangerous work at a short distance. If Paul tries to keep his distance, Tyson could charge in and hit him with a shot that could end the fight in seconds. And even if Tyson's 58, that power hasn't faded.
Take three, Mikey, your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see. Whoop.
Another thing Holyfield finds interesting is how the social media exchanges between Paul and Tyson have ramped up the excitement. The two fighters aren't shy about taking jabs at each other on Instagram, X, and during press conferences. Just last week, Paul confidently claimed, "What I promised to the people is on fight night, Mike will be put to sleep." He then added, "I want the biggest fights, and making history is what I've done my whole entire career." For Paul, this is more than just another fight. It's a chance to do something legendary, something people will talk about for years. He's openly calling Tyson the final boss, framing himself as the young lion ready to take down the old king. He says, apparently, he's the final boss. "I love the biggest challenges in the world.
Day 2, I'm getting ready for you."
Tyson, however, is making it clear that he's not here to play games. Just days after Paul's comments, he released a video showing him hammering his sparring partner into the ropes with fast, brutal punches, just like the Tyson of old. Tyson captioned the video with, "Oh, I can't wait for November 15th. I'm charging right through you," a direct response to Paul's video where he told Tyson not to charge at him. These short video clips are enough to make fans wonder if Tyson might still have what it takes to send Paul crashing to the canvas.
Don't charge at me.
Holyfield, for his part, isn't just offering support. He's honest about Tyson's strengths and weaknesses, and he knows Tyson's power firsthand. When asked if a Tyson loss would hurt boxing, Holyfield's response was refreshingly down to earth. "Personally, I wouldn't take it that way," he said. He added that Tyson has always fought for reasons only he fully understands, and no loss would change what Tyson means to the sport. Holyfield understands that fans want Tyson to win, but he's realistic about Tyson's age. He sees that Tyson might be slower than Paul, but the power is still there, and that's what might make the difference in the ring. Even while Holyfield is supportive, he can't help but show some concern about Tyson's stamina. While Tyson has shown flashes of his former self in training clips, the big question remains, can he sustain that power and energy in a real match? Holyfield mentions how Tyson has, in the past, run out of steam in fights. You never know, just like Mike quit in the ring. He got tired and just quit and just sat down. "I'm done." Tyson's age brings questions that no amount of gym time can fully answer. 8 rounds, even at 2 minutes each, can feel like an eternity when facing a younger, quicker opponent, and Holyfield knows that better than most. People have strong opinions about this fight. Some see it as a spectacle that makes a mockery of boxing's true spirit, with critics like Conor McGregor and promoter Eddie Hearn suggesting it's little more than a stunt. Others see it as a thrilling clash of generations. For them, the idea of a young internet star taking on one of boxing's most feared men is the kind of storyline that brings new excitement to the sport. As for Holyfield, he's choosing to watch the fight with respect for both men. He acknowledges Paul's hard work and courage, and he's hopeful Tyson will be able to harness enough of his old power and skill to put on a great show.
Nice. Come on, punch him. Yeah.
But it's not just Evander Holyfield who has expressed his thoughts. Actually, some of Mike's old and current friends have also joined the discussion. Roy Jones Jr. and Lennox Lewis are 2 men who know Mike Tyson better than most. They've both been in the ring with him, faced his power, and lived to tell the tale. Now, with Tyson gearing up to fight Jake Paul, both Jones and Lewis have their own strong takes on how this clash might go down, and they're not holding back. Each of these former champions has a unique view on what Jake Paul will be facing and what Tyson's game plan might look like, especially considering his age and the challenge of going 8 rounds. Roy Jones Jr. was Tyson's last opponent in the ring during their 2020 exhibition bout. Although that fight ended in a draw, Jones got a front row seat to the legend's remaining skill and raw power. Now, as he talks about the upcoming fight with Jake Paul, Jones says Tyson's endurance is going to be the biggest question mark. Mike is a very rugged guy, Jones explained in a recent TalkSport interview. "When I was in there with Mike, he was still hard to hit and can still hit hard as hell." Jones isn't worried about Tyson's power, it's the stamina that he's concerned about. After all, Tyson may have the power, but at 58, going past the first few rounds might be a completely different story. According to Jones, Tyson will likely make a quick assessment of the situation once he steps into the ring with Paul. Jones expects Tyson to decide in the early rounds if he wants to go for a quick finish or see if he can outlast Paul for the full 8 rounds. If it doesn't go beyond 4 or 5 rounds, he'll be fine, Jones says. He explains that Tyson's approach will depend on how he feels in the ring, but if the fight drags on, age could catch up to him. I think he'll come out and assess the situation and see if he can deal with Jake's size and power, because he does have power, Jones points out.
This question is for Jake. Obviously, Mike is one of the biggest hitters that the heavyweight division has ever seen. I just want to know, when you're thinking about his power, he looks very ferocious on Instagram, especially still. Do you feel like you'll be able to take Mike Tyson's power at this stage?
I know I will be able to. I'm a natural born heavy.
Jones also made it clear that Paul shouldn't take Tyson's power lightly. Tyson has a reputation for knowing exactly how to close in and throw devastating shots. Even though Paul has youth on his side, Jones believes Tyson's experience could make him a serious threat if he's able to deliver his punches. After that, he'll make his mind up as to whether he can go and try to get him out, or if he'll be safe to go the whole 8 rounds, Jones says, almost as if Tyson will be calling the shots depending on how he feels on fight night.
It's day one, the fun just begun.
Then there's Lennox Lewis, another man who knows Tyson up close and personal. Lewis didn't just fight Tyson, he beat him in 2002 in one of the most talked about heavyweight showdowns in recent boxing history. Lewis's prediction on the Tyson-Paul matchup isn't just speculation, it's coming from someone who's been in the ring with Tyson at his most dangerous. Speaking to Sky Sports, Lewis admitted that when he first heard about the fight, his gut reaction was that Jake Paul might be in trouble. He believes that Tyson, even at 58, hasn't lost his instinct for landing brutal body punches and powerful headshots.
Hit in the head by, admittedly, not a conventional boxer, but still a young, physically fit, athletic man.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson knows how to defend himself, and he's boxing against a guy that not as good as boxer as he is, and Mike Tyson knows how to throw a good punch, he knows how to break you down, so I'm more concerned about the other guy.
Lewis isn't sugarcoating things when he talks about Tyson's capabilities. He acknowledges that boxing is hard work, especially at Tyson's age, but he has confidence that Tyson will be able to hold his own against Paul. It's a task, he said about boxing in the later stages of life. It's hard to box when you're that old, moving around the ring, throwing punches, getting punches thrown at you. But for Tyson, he feels it's doable. While he doesn't doubt that the fight will take a physical toll, Lewis believes Tyson's ring IQ and experience give him an edge. I think he can handle it, Lewis added, showing a sense of respect for Tyson's enduring grit.
He's choosing to do it, and then I thought, you're right, he is choosing to do it, but why is he choosing to do it well? He's doing it for one reason and one reason only, and that is the money. He's getting paid so much money to do this, so that tells me he's getting bored.
Lewis has a clear picture of what Tyson's strategy might look like, and he predicts that Tyson's classic aggressive style will be in full force. He envisions Tyson cutting off the ring and throwing head and body shots as soon as he can get close to Paul. Lewis expects Paul to move quickly and do his best to stay out of Tyson's range. I'm sure Jake Paul will be moving fast, moving around the ring, he says. He's not going to want to stand there and get hit by Mike Tyson, and that might be Paul's best hope. Using his footwork to keep distance and avoid Tyson's power shots, especially early in the fight.
You got Anderson Silva, he didn't knock those little guys, how you gonna knock me out? Who did he knock out? Who did he knock out? Little children. He didn't knock out, never knocked out a real man.
The anticipation around the fight has been growing, and Lewis, for one, isn't planning to miss it. He knows that, love it or hate it, this fight is going to be exciting. I'll be there, Lewis said, adding that he's genuinely looking forward to seeing how things play out between the YouTuber and the boxing icon. It's a sentiment shared by fans who are tuning in for the same reason. Tyson's power against Paul's youthful energy is a combination that's bound to create drama in the ring. As the talk builds around the showdown between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, one thing is clear: this fight is all about the numbers. Fans eager to catch the action live are discovering that ticket prices are plummeting as the event date gets closer. It's a wild scene, and if you're looking to snag some last-minute tickets, now might just be your golden opportunity. According to an email from Game Time, a platform that specializes in helping fans get into events quickly, ticket prices have seen a dramatic drop. The lowest price for tickets is now just $91, including all taxes and fees. That's quite the fall from the $132 price point a month ago, and an astonishing drop from $420 back in July when the fight was first announced. For those looking for a true ringside experience, you can grab a seat for $2K, which sounds steep, but is significantly lower than the more than $40K these seats were going for earlier this year.
Biggest fight.
Yeah, the biggest ever.
Ever. It's on pace to be the biggest fight ever.
Yes, and we're involved.
We're involved, right?
We're involved. All those big shots, all the biggest athletes in the world. This is the biggest ever.
November 28th. Let's lit. Hey, we lit here. We're lit at the Tyson Ranch.
And it's not just Game Time making waves in the ticket market. MMA Junkie recently reported that another ticket service, SeatGeek, has hundreds of tickets available for as low as $37. Yet, if you're dreaming of being right by the action, some ringside tickets are still listed at a jaw-dropping $50K each. Now that's a hefty price tag. But wait, there's more. Most Valuable Promotions, the outfit behind the fight, is offering a special MVP owner's experience that comes with a $2 million price tag. What do you get for that kind of cash? Well, a pair of seats just 6 feet from the ring, plus 8 additional tickets in the first 2 rows of floor seats. You also get the exclusive chance to visit the locker room, along with private security and a pair of signed gloves from the fighters. It's a luxury experience for those with deep pockets who want to be part of boxing history. So what does this all mean for the Tyson versus Paul matchup? The drop in ticket prices might seem alarming at first glance, but it could actually play in favor of drawing a bigger crowd. With the massive Atant Stadium potentially accommodating 80K fans, lowering prices might just be the tactic needed to fill those seats. Plus, the earlier postponement of the fight due to Tyson's health scare brought up concerns about the 58-year-old fighter stepping back into the ring. As fans weigh their options, it's only natural they might feel a bit hesitant, especially when they're reminded of Tyson's age and recent health issues.
Because you're the highest man alive.
Interestingly, the timing of this fight coincides with another big event in the combat sports world. Just a day after Tyson and Paul square off, John Jones will face off against Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title at UFC 309. For fans in Texas, it might be a tough decision. Do you invest in the spectacle of a Tyson versus Paul fight, or save your money for what many consider the more legitimate bout the following day? As fans become more cautious with their spending, it's possible that some may opt to skip the live experience in favor of watching the more anticipated UFC event from the comfort of their homes.
If Mike Tyson loses to Jake Paul, does it affect his legacy?
There is no possible chance in this universe or the parallel universe or metaverse that it is possible that Jake Paul will beat Mike Tyson. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. If Jake Paul...
It's clear that the fight between Tyson and Paul is not just about who wins or loses. It's also about capturing the audience's attention and getting as many eyes on the fight as possible. This fight is part of a larger trend in boxing and mixed martial arts, where big names and social media stars are coming together to create a talk and draw crowds. Tyson, a legendary figure in boxing, paired with Paul, a modern-day internet sensation, is a recipe for intrigue.
Yes, sir. That's the one.
Tyson's legacy and Paul's social media prowess are a unique blend that both promoters and fans are eager to see play out in the ring. Each fighter comes with their own massive following, and the mix of traditional boxing fans and a new generation of viewers creates a perfect storm for pay-per-view numbers and ticket sales. Everyone is looking to cash in, and with prices shifting, there's a chance to get involved without breaking the bank. Promoters are banking on the idea that as prices drop, more fans will feel motivated to join the excitement live. The thought of witnessing Tyson, a man who defined heavyweight boxing in the late 80s and early 90s, going head-to-head with a young, brash figure like Jake Paul is irresistible for many. Even if it's a bit of a sideshow, it's a spectacle that fans won't want to miss. Well, how do you think this turns out? And do you think Evander Holyfield is right? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates.